Welcome everyone to my channel Industry Trends. My name is Prashant Bhatnagar and I'm a training and development consultant. Friends, as we all know, following the outbreak of coronavirus, countries around the world started to implement a number of policy measures aimed at avoiding the further spread of the disease. However, few have woken up to the fact that such measures might affect agricultural production and trade. Future Shock, the Alvin Toffler book, was all about a certain psychological state of individuals and entire societies when confronted with too much change in too short period of time. The current pandemic is all about change, in fact, very rapid change. Change like never before. Food consumption and eating habits are likely to be significantly impacted as a result of all the new concerns about hygiene, personal safety, and social distancing. Before we get into the micro issues that have been monopolizing much of the media space, let us pull back and look at the larger picture. The Food and Agricultural Organization took a macro view of the food and agriculture business post the lockdowns in most countries. Its perspectives are actually quite interesting. The Food and Agriculture Organization says that the 2008 financial crisis showed us what can happen when reduced income and uncertainty make people spend less and results in shrinking demand. Sales declined, so did production. Moreover, the most affected were forced to revert to negative coping strategies such as selling of productive assets, less diverse diets, overfishing to compensate for income constraints. At the onset of the COVID-19 outbreak, there has been a significant increase in demand, perhaps out of the fear of possible scarcity. Food demand emphasizes the FAO is generally inelastic and its effect on overall consumption will most likely be limited, although dietary patterns may alter in a narrow range. There is a possibility of a disproportionately larger decline in animal protein consumption as a result of fears not science-based that animals might be hosts of the virus and other higher value products like fish, fruits and vegetables which are likely to cause price slumps. These fears can be particularly true for raw fish products supplied to restaurants and hotels, including small and medium enterprises. Food demand in poorer countries is more linked to income, and here loss of income earning opportunities could impact on consumption. Fear of contagion can translate in reduced visits to food markets, and one can expect to see a shift in how people buy and consume food. Low restaurant traffic, increased e-commerce deliveries, and a rise in eating at home. The food supply chain is a complex web that involves producers, consumers, agricultural and fishery inputs, processing and storage, transportation and marketing, etc. As the virus spreads and cases mount, measures tighten to curb the spread of the virus. There are countless ways of food systems at all levels will be tested and strained in the coming weeks and months. As of now, disruptions are minimal as food supply has been adequate and markets have been stable so far. Global cereal stocks are at a comfortable level, and at the outlook for wheat and other major staple crops for 2020 is positive. Although less positive production of high value commodities, that is fruits and vegetables, is already likely, they are not as yet noticeable because of the lockdowns and disruption in the value chain. Blockages to transport routes are particularly obstructive for fresh food supply chains. Transport restrictions and quarantine measures are likely to impede farmers and fishers' free access to markets, curbing their productive capacities and hindering them from selling their produce. The need to upgrade international standards for hygiene, working conditions, and living facilities on the agricultural farms and on boarding fishing vehicles also needs to be reconsidered in the light of the pandemic. Since fear of catching the infection will be a big driver going forward, the first major impact is going to be on how we buy our food, especially commodities. For years and years, the only commodities that we really branded were ghee and tea. Ghee meant for a long time dalda and rath, and gagan in the north. That expanded later to branding cooking oils. Postman, Safola, Dhara, Guinea. In tea, there was always Brook Bond and Lipton. Tata went packaged in the late 80s with Anu Tazgi, and there were regional satraps like Wagh Bakri and Ginnar. But a larger part of the tea market remained loose. Then came the next wave. Branded rice, Kohinoor, Dawat, Lal Killa, India Gate, then salt, Tata salt, then masalas and spices, MDH, Everest, Priya Catch, then branded atta, Shakti Bhog, followed by Ashirwad, Annapurna, Pillsbury, and more. There has been some slow movements towards branded dals. There is packaged and branded tur dal available from Tata Sampann. But now in the days ahead, commodities like dal, besan, suji, rava, chini, sugar, chai, poha, sabudana and haldi, jeera and more will come under branding. Branding will signify hygiene, safety standards and also in a way source credibility of the commodities in the pack. The likes of Big Basket, Big Bazaar and Amazon are already doing it through store brands. But what I'm really talking about is a much bigger shift that will embrace Middle India and even lower economic stratas. Mom-made is the new normal ever since the lockdown got underway. Momino's is better than Domino's. While it may have started somewhat hesitantly and reluctantly, home cooking is back in favor. Yes, it may have been a no-option situation, but the fear of the virus is going to make sure that in most homes, including yuppies, even singles, a home sandwich would be preferred over a Subway, for a while at least. And many have started to believe that home cooked is healthier. And well, yes, safer. Plus, it makes far better family togetherness, though the last few weeks cannot be extrapolated into the future once offices and schools reopen. The lockdown ensured that many more members of the family started to enter the kitchen and cook. Dads, teenage sons, working daughters, most of them had good practice over the weeks at home with the griddle, the pan and the oven, trying out and experimenting with never before dishes. And praise on Instagram has only encouraged and flattened them to pursue this newfound passion with even more gusto. YouTube is the new guru, so professional chefs will increasingly find more followers on cooking shows and demos, even if they don't get enough customers in their restaurants. Enhanced home cooking, especially by the new converts, will open up a new market for value-added products. Prime consideration for these new products will be the elimination of the jhanjat involved in home cooking, which is the peeling, the grating or cutting or chopping or slicing, the grinding, the sautéing, the browning, etc. are all difficult, cumbersome and time-consuming steps. Take a basic cooking requirement like ginger garlic paste. It is available in branded form in the better food stores. Now volumes and demand will grow exponentially, getting many more brands to get into such products. Similarly, the Kanda Lasun Masala, a Maharashtrian must-use in the kitchen, which has at least long shelf life, could be the kind of value-added product that the likes of Food Hall will surely start to stock up, but the demand will also strongly percolate to stores much smaller and more widespread. The new home chefs will demand a lot more of what I term as intermediary products. Making rajma, for example, would be much simpler if the entire gravy, not just the dry masala powder, made of tomatoes, onions, ginger, garlic and other condiments, would come pre-prepared and pre-packaged so that all you do is to boil the beans, add the gravy and add the dry masala powder to taste, and bingo, the rajma are ready to serve. Home cooking by many more often will open up multiple opportunities for such intermediary lines. Since the accent is expanding from taste bhi and healthy bhi to include safe bhi, there is a big market opportunity for brands from simplistic idli and dosa wet mixes currently available in the semi-organized sector to much more. The demand for restaurant food is not going to go away, that is for sure. So what happens when customers want restaurant jaisa khana at home? Well, two things. There will be demand by some evolved folks for restaurant equivalent cooking flames, which means those that work at much higher temperatures. Few know that restaurant cooking essentially is done at much higher temperatures compared to home kitchen flames. And that is what releases food enzymes that make restaurant food tastier. So that's a new opportunity area for some companies. Professional cooking stoves for homes. Second will be a market for meal kits, accompanied perhaps by recipe videos. Some companies like Fresh Foods are already doing some of this, but expect much more. Friends, as we all know, packaged dal bukhara has been marketed by ITC hotels for a very long time. But the pricing is, well, Bukhara great too. Going forward, till the home cooking safety seeking customer prefers to stay home, expect new lower priced gourmet ranges, whether as specials of the menu from Dampuk or Avartana creations of Chef Ananda Solomon or equivalent. There's a big market there for great meals at good prices. MTR Foods have been doing very good quality, ready-to-eat paneer makhani, navratan koma, bhindi masala and more at very affordable prices. You can expect many more players to enter the space soon and grow the market. Kanu Gupta of Secret Supper fame. There's a big market for chef-on-call services, but getting an expert from Taj or the Oberoi, while being doable, was always far too expensive. With the restaurant business likely to be in doldrums for a while, my belief is that good quality, highly talented freelance chefs will be available at much cheaper price points. Ashok Kalyanpur, once a major domo at ITC Welcome Group, provides this service in Dubai. You can choose the cuisine type and Ashok's company sends you a list of ingredients to keep ready for when your choice chef arrives to cook. India too will have a lot of this tribe in coming weeks for sure. Whether we like it or not, street food samosas, bhelpuri, sevpuri, vada pav will take some hit, at least with middle class folks who would want to avoid anything that looks suspect or seems unhygienic. Opportunity therefore for many Andiji pop-up kitchens who will make small quantities fresh in their home kitchens and supply anything from dhokla to khandvi to mithai to homes and offices not very far away in clean, safe, hygienic packaging. Not that it was not being done before, but many more of such pop-ups are likely to spring up. Already, Haldiram sells golgappas with half a dozen pre-mixed water flavors and condiments. Many more will look at home preparations for the snacks market, taking away volumes from street vendors and halwais. The UK has always been a takeaway market. Takeaways are significantly cheaper than eating out at a restaurant and almost as good on quality. India, in contrast, ever since the advent of the likes of Swiggy, Uber Eats and Food Panda, became more of a home delivery market. More convenient, more time efficient too. With the kind of recent fear and distrust created by the Zomato delivery boy who tested COVID positive in Delhi's Malianagar and got sent into families into quarantine, it is possible that many customers in the future would rather pick food from their favorite restaurant on their own for greater safety and want to eliminate a handler in the middle. During lockdown itself, the home delivery business has survived. Estimates vary, but it would be safe to assume that despite all the magnified fears around food safety and possible transmission of the infection, home deliveries continued because they were allowed as an essential service. Going forward too, home deliveries are here to stay. In fact, premium brands like Biryani by Kilo have adopted extra hygiene measures like sanitizing the kitchen every hour, taking employees' temperature every day for screening, sanitizing delivery bags after every order, and delivering fresh dum-cooked biryani handis, which are opened by customers only in tamper-proof sealed bags. In fact, malls still closed and restaurants still not allowed to function fully, except for some home deliveries. Many top restaurants will offer premium delivery, the full food experience, sans the ambience. It appears, at least for the foreseeable future, the biggest losers in the food business are likely to be restaurants, food stands and vendors, unless they are able to pivot and offer meals with minimal human touch points. Corporate entertainment is likely to recede. Even team celebrations, family outings, etc. are likely to remain low-key for the next few months till the pall of gloom and fear lifts. Another downer for eating out will be that the 50-plus aged customers will drop very substantially. For premium restaurants, these are in fact the better, richer customers. The likes of McDonald's and similar too will get impacted as lesser number of parents will want younger kids, especially those below 10 years, to eat out. Social distancing will be the biggest bane of the restaurant business. The government may itself mandate certain norms. Patrons themselves will in any case want to keep the necessary distance. Plus, hanging out, which is quite the old normal for millennials, will see a drastic drop initially. Doomsayers are predicting a low for 2 years. My own feeling is that the pickup in business will be directly proportional to the flow of good news on lower numbers infected and those dying. So business will start to revive substantially by Diwali. So when it comes to knowing how to eat in the new scenario, no sharing is going to be the new friendship drill. It is not only going to be about contactless service but minimal contact between those at the same table. Restaurants will have to re-examine menus, portions and prices to cater to this new reality. So pizza by the slice may not be the new portion of individual choice. Then whole pizzas, who knows? Greater technology, no waiting, no contact will be the new normal. Dine Out has put an interesting advisory that many restaurants may find prudent to follow. Customers are being urged therein to make the selection and reserve a table from any restaurant aggregation app, which would reduce waiting time and thereby minimize human contact. Customers can further choose to pre-book their food through the app or do so via smartphone apps once they reach the restaurant and are seated. The seating arrangement may also be pre-informed to the customer through the app interface itself, which would detail the table number where a diner may sit. Valet services would offer minimal physical contact via automated valet tokens and minimum contact handover of car keys. Once the dining out process is complete, diners can simply pay via a selection of smartphone apps, thereby reducing the physical contact points to a bare minimum. Well-gloved service, masks and hairnets will have to be introduced by all decent food establishments. Restaurants that can manage to convey friendly, personable service and make customers feel like they are the only patrons around will prosper. This will require a gigantic leap forward in training of staff and a conscious desire to up service levels so that those who have ventured out to eat encourage others to follow their example. According to Chef Sanjeev Kapoor, going forward, patrons will always be more comfortable and confident when they can actually see the cleanliness and hygiene of a restaurant's kitchen and its staff. So restaurants which have an uninhibited kitchen view will subliminally send out more welcome signals. He was 100% right when he repeatedly stressed that the cooking areas of most eateries are far below acceptable standards in our country. The pandemic may actually be a godsend opportunity for the food industry to literally clean up its act for now and ever. The US has seen a dramatic drop in demand for Asian food. Asian in the US is synonymous with Chinese. It is because President Trump keeps ranting about the Chinese virus. Perhaps yes, or as Forbes magazine puts it, there will be decreased demand for exotic, rich food because of the Wuhan seafood market, where coronavirus is thought to have originated, was a popular center for wildlife such as snakes, porcupines, deer, and raccoon dogs, many of which were slaughtered in front of customers, is now shuttered. Since the onset of the coronavirus in 2019, 20,000 wildlife farms in China have been shut down or quarantined, and a strict ban is being implemented on the farming and consumption of exotic animals. Well, Chinese food in India may not be that exotic, but it may still see a fall in preference, Trump or no Trump. Much has already been written about the trimming of the big fat Indian wedding, so I won't dwell too much on this, but one thing is for sure, this golden goose will lay far lesser number of golden eggs going forward. A big setback in store for the Shubh Mangal Vivah business. With events, conventions, congresses and the banqueting business in very serious trouble, all major events of 2020 have already been cancelled or postponed. 2021 may augur better, but for now, marquee events may just treat the current period as a leap year. Curated events in controlled environs may come back by mid-year, but recovery at a large scale is not going to be too soon. With 2 out of 3 flights grounded globally and passenger load on planes expected to decline substantially because of social distancing requirements mandated by the government. Flight kitchens are looking at a lot of idle, unutilized capacity ahead. Low-cost carriers may temporarily dispense with even the current food carts they have to comply with distancing requirements. Bleak future for now. I am keeping this one for the last. Many rich businessmen and celebrities ventured into the restaurant business for social prestige and glitz. The pandemic will see the early demise of many such ventures. Food is going to lose some of its glamour till the virus finds a vaccine or finds a cure and makes people breathe easier. On a separate note, healthy and organic eating will most likely see an uptick. We have always known that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Amongst affluent Indians, there is likely to be an increase in demand for organic food, vegan, vegetarian, and other healthy foods as a result of the pandemic. Coronavirus poses a significant risk to those with pre-existing health conditions such as diabetes and heart disease, as well as those who are overweight and obese. The value of healthy foods, as also fruits and vegetables, will get enhanced in these sensitive times. So, what are the key takeaways for the future, my friends? Resurgence in home cooking, new chefs within the home, YouTube will be the new guru, Instagram will rule. Branded commodities will make for safer food buying, new value-added and intermediary products will take the toil out of cooking and make it more pleasurable. Meal kits, lower-priced gourmet ranges, and freelancer chef-at-home concepts would be interesting in new realities. Decrease in street food consumption, greater pickup in takeaways, and better prospects for home delivery are predicted. Lesser eating out, sparse crowds at restaurants, visible kitchens, no low-contact technologies, gloved and masked servers, single-serve portions will be the new normal. Social media and influencers will play a significant role in demolishing reputations. Beware. Brands will carry a premium. Bleak future for large volume catering both up in the sky and on firmer ground. While the food industry rises to the challenge, there is no reason to believe it won't. Much needed health and safety certifications prescribed by FSSAI have been turned a Nelson's eye for far too long. Everyone in the food chain, including handlers and delivery boys, need a thorough scrub and cleanup, and the earlier the better. The pandemic may appear demonic as of now, but it could well prove to be a great transition and take-off point for food-related health and hygiene in our country. Those who will not change or nor evolve will struggle to stay afloat. Those that will innovate and learn to cope with newer realities will flourish and prosper. Friends, hope you enjoyed the video today and some key takeaways and learnings from the video. Thank you for liking, sharing and subscribing the video. Bye for now.